Hey guys, welcome back to week 5, day 2 of the Fit for 5K training, our extended week. Hopefully next week we will have our 5K race. So as of today, we're just doing kind of that medium volume amount, a little bit more than a deload, and then not as much as our peak week, if you will. So go ahead and pause here, do some soft tissue. All right, so to warm up, we're gonna do something a little bit different. If you guys have seen the video on Instagram I put together about preventing shin splints, I'm just gonna incorporate a little bit of that. I am gonna use a miniband. If you don't have one, you can use a strap or belt or towel, anything like that. You're just gonna do this exercise a little bit differently. So if you do have a miniband, you're just gonna put it around both feet, and then one knee is gonna come up. You can support that. If you're sitting on a med ball, you also get a little bit of stability built in. So we're in this position, I'm bracing right underneath my knee, and then I'm gonna lower my toe and bring it back up. And obviously if I wanna increase resistance, I'm gonna create a bigger gap in the band. I'm gonna go back and forth for about 20 to 30 seconds before switching sides. If you guys are using a belt or a towel, you're gonna have to put it just underneath your foot, same position, and now you pretty much control the resistance by whether or not you're gonna let the belt or the towel kind of go with you. So it might not even look like you're gonna have this much flexion. You're just kind of pushing into the towel or whatever strap you have, and then slowly letting your toe back forward. So as long as you're applying some sort of resistance, pushing into that, or using one of these, that's perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and get set up so you can follow along a little bit. So I'm gonna do 20 seconds or about 10 of each direction. I'm switching sides. We're also getting a little 2-for-1 here. Getting a little hip flexor stretch as we pull that knee up close to our chest. 6, 7, 8. Sweet. All right. So now you guys can either use your foam roller to roll on your tibialis anterior, which is the muscle right next to your shin. If you don't have a foam roller, mine is currently my camera stand right now, what you can do is you're just gonna place your feet, tops of your feet flat on the ground, knees pretty much together right under your hips. What you're gonna do is start tall, and you're just gonna sit back. And then you can support with your hands or not, but basically you just wanna create some weight in that ankle to pull up here. We're just gonna sit here. May look like I'm not really doing anything, but I definitely feel a little bit of a stretch kind of in the ankle joint, as well as a little pull down my shin. So we'll just stay here, and if you want a little bit more, you can just lean further back. We go about 10 more seconds. And rest. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get into our push-up position, and we're just gonna do 2 isometric holds. We've got those today later in the workout, so we're just gonna activate these guys so we're ready when we get there. All right, ready, set, go. All right, we'll take about 10 seconds to shake that off, and then we're gonna get our second round. Okay, ready, set, and we're down. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, we're gonna warm our glutes up. So if you have an elevated surface, I'm just gonna use my med ball. If you have a couch, footstool, bench, cooler, anything, you can go ahead and use that here. All I'm gonna do is just rest my back on the floor. I'm gonna put my heels up on the object. 1 foot's up, and I'm gonna do 6 raises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sweet. Now we're gonna go into our frog stretch. So, tops of feet on the ground. I'm gonna move my knees apart. So I'm pushing my hips back into my heels. Now I'm gonna get 5 each side of just threading. So now I'm gonna reach underneath one arm, press through the ground, which I should create more of a pulling feeling on my shoulder. I'm just gonna take a couple seconds and then switch sides. See how far you can physically bring your shoulder underneath, so we're twisting our back as well as pushing into the ground. That's 1. 2. 3. 5. All right, let's do some hip circles. So I'm in my quadruped position. I'm gonna keep that back flat, and I'm gonna try to draw a big circle with my knee without letting my hips or my shoulders compensate. So if you feel like you're creating an arch, you're really moving around, try to minimize that and just let it all be your knee. We're gonna go 5 forwards, 5 backwards, and then switch sides. Switching sides. And backwards. And 5. All right. Last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do 5 froggers, 2 rounds. So the idea here is you wanna be in your push-up position. Just gonna adjust this really quick. So push-up position, you guys are starting here, and you wanna jump your feet up to your hands. And now, when you bring it back, think the floor is lava. So you can hang out here for a second, but you wanna jump from the back to this position as quick as you can, like this. All right, you can rest here, kind of pop up a little bit so you can still keep stretching a little. And then we're gonna do 1 more round, quick off the floor. Ready, and we're going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. All right, we're ready. Okay, so continuing off of strength day 1, we are keeping things at 3 rounds instead of 4, just to kind of do the in-between amount of volume. So we're still getting a good workout in this week without doing too much. Hopefully planning for a 5K run next weekend. So the 3 exercises we've got for this block is our 90-degree hop, to return to base. We're gonna do 3 of those. It's continuous, so we're sticking that last return to base. And then switching sides, we've got our low split rotational lift. So I've got my medicine ball, and then the last thing is our 6 repetitions of eccentric heels elevated squats. So let's go ahead and get started. So remember, when we're doing these ones, load, explode, stick. We've got less of a stick when we're just returning to base first. Now that we're continuous, we still want to take that shock out, but we're not completely removing all of it. So we still want to be quick off the floor. So I'll try not to hit this. So I'm going to get into my position. I'm on my left leg, and I'm going to the left. And stick. Ooh. All right, switching sides. Okay, that was our 3 hops, 90 degrees, sticking the last one. Our second exercise that we've got, oh, real quick, I thought this was a crack in my screen, so that's good news that it's not. Second thing we've got is our low split rotational lift. So we've got my medicine ball. Remember to add a little bit more stability in this exercise. When you get set up, the more in line your heel is to your knee, the more stability it's going to demand. If you need more help, then just move your foot further away from your knee. So I'm going to go for a little bit more stabilization today. Come on, Katie, words. All right, so my heel is right next to my knee, low split. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, switching sides. Try to get that same position. And then I am keeping my back toe on the floor. I don't need to keep the top of my foot on the ground, keeping my toe up. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Set that off to the side. We've got our 6 eccentric squats. So again, you don't need too much of a lift. Basically something that's just going to bring your heels a little bit off the ground. I'm going to use my 45-pound weight again today. Check in, my toes are forward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up. 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 Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up. All right, so those are the 3 exercises we've got. Pause here for the 2 remaining sets, or if you're just watching these for demos, you've got 3 rounds. So the second block, our 3 exercises, are our beast activation. We're gonna go for 20 seconds. We've also got our push-up hold for 20 seconds, and then we're gonna do 10 calf raises each side. So that same item you were using to lift your heels, you can use that for your calf raises too. Anything that kind of gives you a gap from the floor to really lift your heels up, as well as maybe something for support. I'm gonna use a broom. Okay, so first exercise we've got is we're gonna do our beast activation. So I'll bring this up here. I think I'm gonna use my 25-pound plate since it's sitting right here. I feel like I have to. So 20 seconds activation if you haven't done this one before. If this is your first time doing this workout, remember we're keeping that tabletop flat, picking up opposite hand and foot without letting anything move side to side. And then add weight if needed. So I've got my weight ready. 20 seconds. Ready, go. It's halfway. And 20. All right, I may as well do a 20-second push-up hold with the plate. So I'm just gonna take a second, make sure I'm recovered so that I don't mess up during the 20 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. That's halfway. Keep pushing the floor away. 3, 2, 1, and time. Whoa! I can barely get up. Okay. So now I'm gonna use this as my device for my heel lifts. And I'm just gonna support myself with a bike. Okay, so we're gonna do 10 each side. So as you lift your heel up, see if you can kind of get a squeeze in your calf and slowly let yourself back down. So you want to have tension the whole time. You don't want to just let go, drop to the floor. I think that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Cool. Those are 3 exercises, 2 more additional rounds, and I'll see you in the 3rd block. Okay, so last block, we've got our 3 exercises, our Russian twist, our glute bridge, and our single leg RDLs. 3 rounds. We're gonna do 10 Russian twists each side. We're gonna do 30 seconds of glute bridge marches, and then we're gonna do 6 RDLs each side. Here we go. I'm using this. This is my theme of the workout today. This is just my 25-pound plate. We're good. So Russian twist. If you're using something real heavy, you can place your feet on the ground to ensure you're getting a full rotation. Otherwise, to add a little bit more stability, you can cross your feet, lift them up, or even keep them straight. So I'm not gonna do that. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo. All right. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is our glute bridge march, and I'm actually gonna use a little bit higher of a platform to put my heels on. You guys can use a couch, cooler, whatever, same object that we used in the warm-up. But basically, the changing angles to get this right. I'm gonna put my heels up on my support. Basically, just gonna keep my back flat, driving through my heels, lifting my hips up, and then I'm just gonna alternate picking one leg up, putting it down for 30 seconds. That's 15.
3, 2, 1, and time. All right. That was our second exercise. So now our single leg RDLs. I'm just gonna use my 25-pound plate again. So I'm keeping the weight close to my chest. I'm gonna shift weight into my left side. I'm just gonna kick that opposite heel back. So I'm keeping my, oh God, I'm gonna start that over. So I'm gonna keep that plate close to me, shifting my weight into the left side. I'm gonna keep the opposite toe pointed down, legs straight, and then pull my hips through. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switching sides, so now I'm putting the weight into my right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, oopsies, 5, last one, and 6. So those are the 3 exercises we've got for that last block. Go ahead and finish the remaining 2 sets here, and then we'll cool down. All right, so to cool down, we're gonna do a couch stretch. I'm gonna use my med ball, but you can use anything that you can just lift your back foot with. So starting out, I'm just gonna place my foot flat on the ground. I'm gonna try to keep my hips pretty close to my heel. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fix my hips. So if I'm tilted super forward, my back's arched, I'm just gonna straighten it up, which is gonna cause a stretch right in here, as well as maybe the inside of the leg that's up. And I'm just gonna work on keeping my upright posture and really driving my hips back. Really, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm gonna stop that. Tilting our hips back, you can still engage your glute here and then rock forward. Still keeping those hips locked in place where you want them. You can move a little bit forward, so now we're asking for a little bit of an ankle movement as well as calf stretch, and extending that stretch on our other leg. And switch sides. You're definitely welcome to do a couple rounds of these guys. You might notice one side's a little tighter than the other. Super tight on this side. And rest. All right, last thing I'm gonna do, I'm still gonna use my med ball. You can use a foam roller for this. This is actually really good for this exercise because they're a little bit longer and flat. So palms facing towards the ceiling. Just gonna move my hands forward. You wanna keep your head down in this position. I'm just talking, so I'm gonna pop my head up a little bit. So ideally, I'm in line with my spine, and then you're gonna lift one hand up, place it back down. The goal here is to keep your palms facing the ceiling with your arms straight. So if you feel like you're starting here and then you're starting to twist, you can even put the foam roller or object a little bit closer to your elbow, and that might make things a little bit easier as we're here. And you're just gonna get a couple rounds by each side. And then the remaining time, you guys can stretch out a little bit more, do some more mobility, all that good stuff. So thanks for joining this week. Keep training. I know things are all up in the air, but welcome to 2020. So hope to see you next week for our potential final week of training for the 5K. And so yeah.